Doctor Who's watching! Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, or welcome for the
Yay.
first time, if you're new. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
We're back from Comic-Con.
Yep.
That was fun.
Yep.
Um,
3 weeks ago already?
Oh god, something like that.
At the time of recording?
At the time of going up, probably a year or so. I'm getting an evil look from our editor. Anyway, yeah, we tried out the VR game.
Yep, that was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. If I had a VR headset, I'd buy the game.
Yeah, I'd probably buy it if I had a VR headset.
But I'm not going to go out and buy a headset for it.
No. But it was good. So anybody who...
because I'm poor.
Yes, that's exactly. But for anybody who does have a VR headset, who is a Doctor Who fan, I think it's probably a must.
Yeah.
Buy.
Presumably they're Doctor Who fans, they're watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd hope so. I'd hope they were Doctor Who fans.
What were your thoughts on Comic-Con as a whole? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I don't think it was as good as October.
I don't think it was, because I haven't been since 2016, I don't think it was as good as that one that I went to.
Yeah, I went to the October one last year. I don't think it was quite as good as that.
Yeah.
I think it might just been personal preference though. There were a lot of things. There was still a lot there, just not things I was personally interested in.
Yeah, and I think that was sort of my thing. It was sort of anime and all that sort of thing. I'm not really into that sort of thing, and that seemed to sort of dominate it all this year, didn't it?
Yeah.
In there was quite a big section that was specific.
There always is, but I think it was bigger than other
and it
years.
sort of branched out into other things, but otherwise, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, very busy, very hot as well.
Yes.
Baking
trench
hot.
coat did not last the whole day. We also went to the Doctor Who fan meet when we eventually found it. It moved.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it was outside.
We were about the last half hour, last 10 minutes.
Yeah, fortunately, there was MCM now a thing where they put on their site where all the fan meets are.
Yeah.
And fortunately, we bumped into someone I'd met earlier at the con, and they were like, "Oh, I'm going to the fan meet outside." I was like, "I thought there's one down here." And they're like, "Oh, maybe it's two." And we were stood there like, "Well, it's definitely not here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go outside and see if it is just the same one." And it was. It had just been moved.
Yep.
Which was great because
Yep.
I knew that was what happened. But no, that's pretty
But
good.
it was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Seeing lots
Yeah.
of Doctors.
Yeah.
That's where we got a nice,
that's where we
nice new intro from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of people. I mean, I was expecting it, but lots of people dressed up as Jodie Whittaker, from
I
all
actually
ages.
don't
Actually, as
think
well. I
there
noticed.
were as many as in October. Which
Oh, was there loads in
interesting,
October?
Because in October, she hadn't even been on screen yet.
Okay. Yeah.
There were loads in October.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
couldn't move for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of all different ages, I thought as well. Yeah. All different ages dressed up as Jodie Whittaker. And
I was
different.
I was surprised
Men and women were
that
dressed up
older
as Jodie
people
Whittaker as well.
were
Yeah.
So enthralled with her Doctor.
Yeah.
Because sort of most people I've met of sort of an older generation have been a bit grumbly about it.
Yeah.
Not everyone.
There was a
not
couple of
listening.
older people there, weren't there, dressed up as Jodie Whittaker, yeah.
Lots of different doctors.
Lots of different doctors,
And
yeah.
talking of lots of doctors all in the same place.
That's what this video is.
We're going to be talking about multi-doctor stories.
Yep.
We haven't actually looked at each other's lists, so...
Well, that's alright, because it'll be a surprise then, won't it?
Yeah, but if we agree on stuff, it's official, isn't it? That was our ruling, wasn't
Well, that's alright, we just sort of, you do number 8, I'll do number 8. Should we go from the bottom upwards?
Yes,
Right.
go from bottom up. What's your bottom...
My least favourite one is Sirens of Time from Big Finish.
That first one?
Yeah.
It's official. That's the worst
Oh, is that the
multi-doctor
one you've got
story,
as well?
because that's my bottom one as well.
You have to give it credit. It's the first Big Finish audio story, apart from the Beneath Summerfield range. So it's the first proper Doctor Who story.
I mean...
But I think it also fails because it's the first Big Finish Doctor Who story.
I think I might have put it higher, but it might have a bigger place in my heart, as it were, if it were the first Big Finish I'd listened to.
Yeah.
But I jumped on the Big Finish
I've done
bandwagon
it years
quite
before.
late
Yeah, well,
so
late, but
the only reason I've actually listened to it is because I tried listening to all the Big Finish books in order. We'll do a video on the best way to do Big Finish at some point.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a spoiler, that's not it.
No.
But it's not the best.
It's not great. Yeah, I quite like the last episode when you've got Peter Davison, Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy, they're all together. But I don't know, I think it's the first 3 episodes, it kind of muddles through a little bit. It doesn't... doesn't pick up.
It's one of those things. I don't feel like the story justifies its
Yeah,
having three
yeah.
doctors in it.
Yeah, it could have quite easily just have been a one Doctor story.
Yeah.
Just picked their favourite one to kick it off.
Should we go on to second
Yeah.
bottom?
Yep. I have Twice Upon a Time.
That's the one I forgot.
Shall I talk about my thoughts on Twice Upon a Time then, while you try and work out where to put it?
You can do, and I already know where it's going to go.
As a Christmas special, I don't mind it. But Peter Capaldi should have left at the end of The Doctor Falls. I don't think they should have kept him on
I
for
agree
that
with
Christmas
that.
special. And Stephen Moffat's handling of the first Doctor is terrible. The first Doctor was never sexist.
No.
He was never anything like that that Stephen Moffat had put. He was much more like he was in the Mark Gatiss An Adventure in Time and Space, the little mockumentary thing that they did for the 50th. That's what the first Doctor was more like. He wasn't, oh, Polly obviously hasn't been dusting, oh, such and such hasn't happened.
Oh, that line was
Now,
I don't know what to say. Actually, I'll say it now. I do like the bit where he's like, you talk, hear much more of that language from you, young lady.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
He did used to say things like that anyway with Susan and
It
whatever.
sounds worse in
Yeah.
the context than when you actually think of what it was like when he was the Doctor.
Yeah.
You think that would be a very normal thing for you
Yeah.
to say as someone that's like.
Yeah.
It is a sort of a grandparent
Yeah.
sort of thing, and that's
Yeah.
that's what one would do to a
Yeah.
misbehaving child.
Yeah, no, and I think
That
you
made me
think
chuckle.
that, he always used to tell Susan off. I'm thinking
Yeah.
Dalek Invasion of Earth, where she brings sort of like the whole blooming bridge down on top of the TARDIS, and he's like, for goodness sake, child, what you need is a jolly good smack bottom! And it's like, oh dear. And, in out of context, that's a little bit dodgy, but in the 60s, that was fine. But, had Stephen Moffat watched any of the Ben and Polly stories, Polly was a swinging 60s gal who she'd have probably told the Doctor to F off if he'd asked her to blooming
Yeah.
polish something. So, Twice Upon a Time's not great. It's alright in the end. I quite like the bit where Bill and Nardole and the 12th Doctor hug, but I think that's probably the best bit in it, really. So, that's all I have to say.
And they ruin it by having Clara.
Oh, and then
come
they
back.
ruined it by Clara coming back.
I'm sorry to any Clara fans.
Yes.
Because I have met some now. They do exist.
Yes, I've met some too.
They were quite nice.
She's just not my favourite companion.
Really don't like her.
I prefer
My
Bonnie
second
Langford
from the
over.
bottom actually
Mhm.
is the second Big Finish one. Big Finish's 50th anniversary.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, again, I did. It was. Ever heard the expression "too many cooks spoil the broth"?
Yep.
There were too many doctors. They didn't focus
Yeah.
enough on any doctor. It wasn't
Yeah.
worth having that many doctors
Yeah.
there. I think there is. I will come to it later. I think there's a magical number of how many doctors you should have in a multi-doctor story, and that's
Yeah.
just too many.
Yeah.
That's about it. The story's okay, but yeah, again, I give it a solid okay. It's
Yeah.
worth a listen
Yeah.
if you haven't, but
Yeah.
it's not going to come any higher on my list.
Yeah. And funnily enough, the light at the end is my one after Twice Upon a Time as well.
Oh, there you go.
So I probably like it more than you do.
That's easy to say, yeah.
But again, I don't like it that much. I think now I'm not too keen on Day of the Doctor for reasons that we'll probably go into in another video. If we do a whole video on it.
Do a Jordan v. Scott on that, I think.
But
Essentially.
I think Day of the Doctor was better than Light at the End. But what Light at the End does have is a fantastic theme tune. I loved that theme tune. It was sort of a mixture of every single Doctor Who theme there had ever been.
It
From
was a
the
good
60s
theme
up to
tune.
whenever it came out, 2013. Sort of every Doctor had a bit in that theme tune. Some interesting Doctor companion combinations that there had never been. So Charlie Pollard, who was the 8th Doctor's companion in Big Finish, meets the 4th Doctor, and she's sort of travelling through the story with Tom Baker and Louise Jameson as Leela. Then you've got some interesting companion combinations. You've got Leela and Charlie Pollard. You've got Nissa's in it. I'm not sure if she's with anybody else, actually.
No,
You've got...
because Nissa and the 5th Doctor stay sort of
They
on their
stay
own.
in the same place, don't they,
Yeah,
for the
which
whole
is
story?
another complaint.
Yeah.
I've got about it is that
Yeah.
they don't really use. It's basically a Fourth Doctor story.
It is,
with
isn't it?
cameos
It's a
from
bit from
other
the Fourth
Doctors,
Doctor, yeah.
which I'm just
Yeah.
not too keen on.
Yeah, I
Nothing
quite like
against the Fourth Doctor. It's just if you're selling me a multi-Doctor story,
you
give
want
me a multi-Doctor story. Don't give me a Fourth
And
Doctor
I hadn't
story.
thought about that then until you said it. It does actually feel like quite a Tom Bakery story. But I quite like the pairing of Ace and Perry. And if you watch them on the television series, Ace, beats up a Dalek with a baseball bat, whereas Perry's more likely to stand there and scream at it. But through Big Finish, her character developed, and she's a little bit more gung ho, like Ace. That was quite an interesting pairing. Jeffrey Beavers as the Master. He's got one of those voices that it fantastic. He's the Decayed Master.
I must say,
I loved
wasn't
that
keen
bit.
on him.
Do you not like him?
Not in that story.
Okay, and he's better in other stories.
I'm sorry, I'm eating
But-
my beard.
But I do like Jeffrey Beavers, and I do like that bit where they find all the dead people in the doll's house, and he shrunk them down in the doll's house.
I do like that. But
That's quite a
a
morbid
sort of a hat throw to Logopolis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's not my favourite.
No.
It's some good moments. I think it's a story of good moments and good sort of fan service somewhere along the line. But as a story, I don't think it'll hold together as the years go on.
No. Some
Particularly.
people say, "Oh, it's our 50th anniversary," and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not mine.
It's part of it, but I don't think it's mine.
So, in fourth position,
Mm-hmm.
fourth? No, it's not. It's fifth.
Fifth, yep.
In fifth position, I've got the Five Doctors.
Okay, yep,
I'll tell you why I've got it here.
yep.
It's not 5 Doctors. There are 4
no,
of
it's
them.
4, isn't it? Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
count Tom Baker because he's not in it.
No,
You know.
no. You've got those dreadful publicity shots where they've got the
His
Tom Baker
waxwork.
waxwork figure from Madame Tussauds, and
I mean-
it doesn't even look like Tom Baker.
I will admit that I probably hold too much bitterness against it for that.
Yeah,
But
probably.
also, it does really annoy me. Also, the guy that plays the first Doctor looks nothing like William Hartnell.
No, he doesn't. Now, 5 Doctors is much higher up on my list,
I mean,
but I agree with you. He doesn't look anything like.
there are some good moments
William
in the
Hartnell.
story, but also
Yeah,
they don't even have 5 Doctors. They have
No.
4, but they have too many Doctors.
and they don't even have William Hartnell if
They
you
don't
want to
juggle.
count.
Yeah,
It's sort of the first Doctor.
they don't juggle it particularly well.
No.
Obviously, they couldn't have William Hartnell.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I don't think they juggle the Doctors very well. It was nice to see, some Doctors return.
Yeah.
It's always a treat to see
Yeah.
John Pertwee and Pat Tram back in the TARDISes. It's an enjoyable episode, and if you've not seen it, I do recommend it. We're at a point where I don't dislike any of the multi-Doctor stories.
No, I
just
don't dislike them. They're just in my order of
I
preference.
don't love some of them,
Yeah.
and I think that one's one I don't love. And a big part of it, I will admit, is the fact that it's called 5 Doctors, and there aren't 5 Doctors in the episode.
No.
That's what I've got to say about it.
Okay. We'll get on to my thoughts when we reach it. So my next one is Day of the Doctor. Where do I begin? There was all that. I think my biggest problem was, and it's probably my fault, I kind of joined the hype train a little bit. Because, and I mean I shouldn't have done, because it's Stephen Moffat and it's Matt Smith, and it's not the best era that Doctor Who has ever done throughout its whole 50, well, nearly 60 years.
I'm just going to sit back and watch Jordan get all the abuse in the comments.
I'll quite happily say that Matt Smith's era is not my favourite era of Doctor Who. I'd quite happily stand by that. But I don't think it's the worst era either.
Oh, no. Sylvester McCoy was nuts.
It was kind of a letdown for me. My problems start with John Hurt. Fantastic actor, but for God's sake, if you can't get Christopher Eccleston, just have gotten Paul McGann in.
That's my biggest criticism for
I
that.
think, and I think that's the reason
John
why I
Hurt
don't
did a
like
good
him.
job.
He did
Well,
a very good job, yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
I agree. The second Eccleston said no,
Yeah.
it should have gone Paul McGann.
Yeah.
Paul McGann's been proper mugged off in the TV
Yeah.
appearance, and I
Yeah.
do like Night of the Doctor,
I like Night of the Doctor. To
I
me,
think
that
it's
was
really
better than Day of the Doctor.
but
To me.
I don't. Yeah, it should have just been Paul McGann. I would have loved that episode if it was Paul McGann.
I think it would have been a lot higher for me if it had been Paul McGann.
It may have been higher on my list. Spoiling the end of my list when I get to it now. But yeah, I think I would have just loved to have seen Paul McGann back in a proper adventure, and it would have been nice to have at least one classic Doctor.
This is my next point.
In the actual adventure.
Yeah. I think there should have been a classic Doctor. I know it had Tom Baker in it, but he wasn't the Doctor.
No.
Not that we know of anyway. Clara is just there.
It does always lose points for that.
Billie Piper's good.
I like her in it.
I like her more than I did when she was in David Tennant's first series. I think she's a lot better in this than she was through the vast majority of that.
I think she was an important figure in Modern Who, whether you like her or not.
Yes.
So I think it was good to get her back for it.
Yeah.
I'll save more of my points on it because there are more positives for when it gets to my point.
It can't work out whether it wants to be a Dalek story or a Zygon story, which is a little bit of a problem. And if you're going to set a story in the Time War, it has to be a Dalek story.
Yeah.
The Zygons kind of feel very shoehorned in. Oh, because it's the 50th anniversary, let's throw in a very well-remembered classic monster. Well, as much as I like the Zygons, there are better monsters you could have thrown in that than the Zygons. You know, I don't know how they'd have done it, but the Ice Warriors are more well-known than the Zygons.
They'd already brought back the Ice Warriors. I think...
Yeah, but I don't think I'd have had the Zygons in it full stop. I think it would have been a Dalek story. Something happens, a tear opens, Daleks come through from the Time War and they land on Earth. The Time War comes to Earth, Time Lords come down, boom, whatever, blow up London, I don't know, something happens, units called in, half the Doctor's companions are called in, the Doctors are called in, boom, there you go. 50th anniversary, everybody's happy because you've got callbacks left, right and centre to different things. You've got a Dalek threat to defeat, because the Daleks are the biggest Doctor Who villain that there are. Everybody knows what a Dalek is.
Do you not think there's a slight oversaturation in Dalek stories, though?
I think there is, but I think I'd have let it slide for the 50th anniversary. But Day of the Doctor just doesn't gel for me. Like Light at the End, there's some great moments in it, like when Tom Baker turns up at the end, when they're in the Black Archive and you see all these different little callbacks to things, bits and pieces.
I don't like the bit of Tom Baker at the end.
Watching it now, I don't. But watching it originally, I didn't see it happen.
I agree
didn't see it coming.
with Colin Baker and the rest of them, when they said if any of them got a cameo, they all should, and I entirely agree with that.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
I understand that Tom Baker has held the TARDIS keys for the longest.
Yeah.
But I think if any of them got a cameo, they all should.
Yeah. Again, this goes into my point that there was no classic Doctors in it, full stop. I know they did the 5-ish Doctors. To me, that's
honourable
better
mention
than
for the 5-ish Doctors, which is fantastic. I mean, it's not canon, obviously, because it's about so it's not on our list. But I love the 5-ish Doctors. It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
It also just the fact that its title takes the piss out of my biggest peeve for that.
Yeah, and it's got all the companions in it. All the surviving companions are in it.
I love the bit where they phone up Tom Baker and he's like stuck in a time bomb again. He's like, yep, that's.
No, that's my thoughts on Day of the Doctor. I'll probably go more in depth if we do another video on it. Sort of that and the 50th anniversary as a whole, I think, was a bit of a letdown. But anyway, what's your next one before I go too far into that? And then can't crawl myself back out.
My next one is Twice Upon a Time.
Okay, yep.
So
higher up than mine then.
Yeah, but I agree with a lot of your criticisms.
Yeah.
And I also think, as shown by our Regenerations video, if you haven't seen that, go and watch our Regeneration stories. Slight spoiler, we don't put that on our Regeneration stories. We have the Dr. Fools.
Yeah.
Because that should have been Capaldi's farewell. But it was nice to see more Capaldi. It was...
And Peter Capaldi's always great,
He's always a treasure. He's a joy. I'm more than happy. I'd love to see him come back for some more multi-Doctor adventuring in the future. And the guy that plays the first Doctor does a good job. His performance, I can't really fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, the writing.
He's
for him's
better
not
in
quite on.
Adventure in Time and Space, I think,
Yeah.
than where he's playing William Hartnell rather than the first Doctor. But yeah, I do like David Bradley.
It's a nice bit of fun for a Christmas special.
Yeah.
It's a good balance of doctors, of doctorings.
They each get something to do, don't they? Which is quite nice.
It was nice to see Bill back again. I do like Bill.
Yep, I like Bill. I write for a website called the Doctor Who Companion, where I recently wrote an article on Bill. So go check it out.
Link in the description below.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, yeah.
But yeah, I've said everything else about it, and Twice Upon a Time for your video, really.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry to add this little bit on at the end, but the video went a bit longer than we expected, so instead of making you watch for too long, we decided to cut it up into 2 parts. So please come back for part 2. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share.